over the countdown. Jeff, you make my work so much harder for me. Hello, everyone.
I'll leave.
Jeff is supposed to start, but he's rattled now. Would you like to do the honor, sir, and get us here? Throw us in.
I'm calm, man. I'm calm. Hey, everybody. Welcome to But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio. I am Jeff, of course, our show's former noob, as opposed to my friend and co-host here, Sunday.
Yes, Sunday, pop culture professor here, and expert on all things Housewives this week. I'm up to my eyebrows in Housewives. There's so much Housewives news.
Where are you starting? There's so much.
So the Atlanta reunion, by far my favorite of the bunch. And it is also now confirmed Andy's favorite of the bunch. He even said at the end of this one, he's like, I've had more fun today like I used to have back in the day. So confirmed, Andy likes the Real Housewives of Atlanta the best too. It's just so good. And like the way they just slice each other's throat, it's just smooth and it's funny because it's mean, but then it's kind of like sad because it's mean or like cringy because it's mean. No, they do a really good job. These women clock in and they know the assignment and they do it and it is riveting. There's a first year housewife, like a freshman housewife. She's also a country music star named K. Michelle. And this was her first season and she just made a lot of really silly mistakes, like rage tweeting during a scene. She brought up her own rumor because she was, quote, trying to get ahead of it, like all these things. And so they pretty much gave her a little clinic on how not to be a housewife if she comes back. Do you know what's not a real ride is the Real Housewives of London? And do you remember like a couple of weeks ago, Jeff, when I told you to beware of shows when they start burning off to more episodes at a time?
Yes, I do. I assumed that meant it's bye-bye to London once again.
Yes, so last week and this week, they released 2 episodes. I haven't even slogged through the most recent one. I did the first one and the second one. It's just not fun, and it's not relatable. And I think they think that though the regular normies like me would enjoy this kind of display of wealth. Like, do better. Do better, London.
Well, on the flip side of just something else you brought up talking about things we're doing and watching this week. The flip side of the ladies, that high up, we also are in the Kentucky area of this country, which there's a London there also.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
Or really the season, which leads us to our season 6 VPR we've got going on.
This, for all the folks who are not as clued into the Vanderpump Rules catalog as we are, this is the Rawt in Hell era.
Mm-hmm. We're there.
And
we're very much right there.
Is giving me life. Like I'm thinking about it whenever I'm not watching it. I went ahead and watched episode 3. I watched a little bit of ahead today and it continues to give. It is not wearing itself out. You know, these first 2 episodes was not a gasp of momentum and they were not slowing down. Jax Taylor is a demon with a black soul.
I was really saying after our reunion coverage from season 5, you know, I don't know how they top it. I don't know how all of this momentum like continues on. And, you know, 2 seconds into the season, we're in. I'm like, all right, never mind. We're rolling on.
Hold my Pinot Grigio. Okay, I will show you this. And we got sight of the apparition that is Patrick too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's real, people. He's real. He's a real tool, but nonetheless real.
And outside of our VPR bubble where you have your housewives, I had a couple things. Yeah, I had a couple things watching outside of there that were making me happy lately too. I had the Tony, the Anthony Bourdain movie, got into theaters last week. We saw it last Friday. It was awesome. Some very cool stuff. You know, I come from the world of kitchens and loving movies, and those 2 things came together in a very nice way for me to tell the story of someone I've looked up to for a long time. So unless you outright do not like him as a person, I highly recommend this movie. Nice way to end the summer in the theaters as well. Yeah.
Who played him in the movie?
Somebody I didn't really know, so I don't have the name right here. There's not bunch of big names. I mean, Antonio Banderas is in it. Slavos has got a little role. And other than that, there's a couple chefs that pop up towards the end that are really neat. You know, if you know, you know, kind of thing. But
Mhm.
I loved it. It was a very, very like even, small story. It was wonderful storytelling. I couldn't believe I found out the director really didn't know a lot about his story at all until he just kind of like got tossed into making it. And you'd never know. I mean, it was kind of done with, it looked like it was done with a lot of care. And so I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And
Is that a niche target audience though? Is this like
well,
um
that's
uh
what
a movie
I,
that like unilaterally folks can enjoy? Like the Billy Joel movie was pretty niche, right?
I
Wasn't there
think it
Billy Joel?
was, I don't know what the Billy Joel movie
I
is.
might
There was
I
a
might be getting that
Kate
wrong.
Hudson did a Neil Diamond cover band movie. Is that where we
No,
are?
no, it'll
Um,
come to me later, but I'm most likely
okay.
getting it wrong. So just move it along. It's nothing
I
to
would
see here.
say, like I think it really, you could not know who he is and enjoy this movie.
Mm,
Absolutely. There's nothing you have to know. You don't have to be super read up on him like I am to enjoy it either. I think it was just very good storytelling. The two leads, the what guy that plays Tony and his female love interest are both great. You know, kind of just fun times at the theater. It could have gotten darker, it could have been hokier, and it didn't do either one of those things. It was very
oh,
even
thank
keel,
goodness.
very nice. Yeah.
You and I talked about this whenever you told me you had seen it, and it's gotta be I go to the movies so rarely that this has gotta be a really big thing. I don't think this is a movie that would get me to the theaters, but this is a movie that I would definitely watch at home and enjoy it and have an experience with it at home, but it's gotta be like, I even laid out of the 2nd Wicked movie, and Carla's friend had rented the whole theater out. I don't like going to the movies as much as I used to. Back in my day,
Yeah, I
it was
wouldn't say this is like you gotta go, you know, like Odyssey had a lot more pull for people like gotta see it in the
mhm.
theater. This doesn't really have that. I loved it very much.
Yes.
Getting to see it on the big screen.
It was a pull for
On
you though, for sure.
I was gonna see this no matter what. I mean, I could have heard it
Mhm.
was flaming dog shit and I would have been there. Absolutely.
That's good. I mean, we all like, there's a lot of things too that I'll watch no matter what. Like, I will give almost any Bravo show a a chance. I will give any show that is either, like, dancing around polyamory or polygamy in some way. Like, for some reason, that trash just draws me in. Not to compare this to Anthony Bourdain's movie,
No,
but
anything that
there's
makes
something.
all the titles you're watching more complicated to say, the more you watch them is exactly what you want to
Yes,
watch. If there's
for
a
sure.
double secret sister wives, suburban
Well,
soldiers, then you're going to be right up on top of that. I
what a
did have
smooth
one,
segue.
well, I had one more small screen one I like. Speaking of what you'd
Okay.
rather watch on the small screen, you know, I'm out here plugging Apple like it's my job lately. But
Yeah.
Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed, I flew through the other day. It was awesome. I waited until it was done to watch it because I thought I would like it a whole lot. Fantastic. Can't say enough, but we don't really want to say much about it at all. So I say
I
check it
think
out. Yeah.
we finished it. I
Mm.
think that we did. Is it a cliffhanger?
Yeah, it kinda opened it up for a second one for sure. I mean, it was
Yeah,
one of those
which was
going into the
super
last
annoying though.
episode, I didn't think it would, but then by the end of like, it was really the last 2 minutes or something, like, no joke, last
Mhm.
5 minutes, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, I'm on board. I see how you did this and that." Like,
Well,
it was very good.
I really like her too,
Mhm.
Tatiana Maslany, and she also, funny enough, is Carla's hall pass. I hope she doesn't mind me saying that, but so, anything that she's in, I really like her. I liked her in She-Hulk. Like, it was super fun. Okay, now
Alright.
Shep sorted out, so now let's continue. Here we go. Alright.
Yep, alright. Yeah, so you thought I was segueing into it a minute ago because we have to get into it quick. Our double lives of Suburban Wives coverage has been sticking with me throughout the week, as you know, because we text about it wildly, or at least I do.
Yes, we
That
do.
this one's more one-sided.
Well,
And we've
you
got a
did break some news to me about our newcomer this week.
oh yes, our natural lady is not as clean as she pretends to be on here. So it's like a few of these other ones. It is like we have found out what she says her secret is, and then it turns out there's a little more secret to her secret that we've got to do off
Yeah.
camera here.
I mean, and we make a lot about these women's sort of ability to ignore the obvious, right? I mean,
Hmm.
surely they understood that we also, as viewers, have the internet. And that when we see this happening, we are going to go straight to her wedgie and giantess content to see what else is available. And we definitely saw what was available
Yeah,
for,
it's
a certain
available.
price.
It's all out there. There's no limit really, and our church girl as well. So now, yeah, check all the boxes for all the ladies. They're all out there doing all the things. And Nolan talking about how her wedgie content is, she's terrified of that now, has also, I can't, I have taken
Yes.
like 8 screenshots of her with underwear over her
Is
head
it
now. And
contagious?
I want to just send it to Nolan constantly. But y'all,
Well,
this show is wild. And for as boring as it is, I can't believe it sticks with me throughout the week.
so listen, I want to do a quick poll. I have a couple of 3 podcasts that I listen to pretty regularly that talk about the shows that we do. And I listen to them after hours so that I can just like do the catch up. But they're split down the middle in terms of it will get a second season or it won't. So what do you think? Do you think it's going to get a second season?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's only 2 more episodes because that's all it looks like it is. I mean, some
I think
stuff
so.
has to happen for me to. I don't really want it right now by any means. I mean, if you had told me
I
we're
don't,
doing a show about this, I'd be pumped because, as we keep saying, this should be an exciting show. And I think that's why it sticks with me throughout the week. I'm
yep.
like, there must be I mean, I know that there's millions of people doing this with struggles that, like, gotta be able to tell a story. And these aren't those ladies, I think, for lots of reasons, but
And then
they're,
I would
they're
just
not
like
it.
to put a call out to the, people in the world, the spicy adult content creators of the world. Volunteer for season 2 for this show. Okay? Because I think you could do a better job than these wet rice cakes. They are walking around like somebody's got their hand up their butt and they're ventriloquist dummies. It's
I'm
really
actually
boring.
sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, but wet rice cakes is kink that you can explore on at least 2 of their websites. So you got to
You're
look into
telling
that.
a lie.
I am
You're
telling a
telling
lie.
a lie.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, because there's a lid for every pot, so I don't want to kink shame
I'm not
anybody.
saying it's definitely not out there, but I haven't seen that.
I mean, I bet if you wrote these women in a big enough check or sent them a big enough tip, they would do anything you wanted. We got a little girl taking care of an egg like a mama chicken and clucking like a mama chicken.
Oh,
So wet
absolutely.
rice
Like I
cake
said,
play.
you and I right here, we're going to be hard pressed to come up with something they haven't gotten a request from and
Hmm.
done and moved on down the line in Missouri, where all kinds of fun folks have been hanging out on our
You
screens this year.
missed a real opportunity just now to say ease on down the road. You really missed an
No, I
opportunity there,
wouldn't. I
Jeff.
would not do that to the Quincy
Not a
Jones
big whiz.
masterpiece of The Wiz to get to McBee from Double Live Suburban
Not a
Wives.
big
No way.
whiz quoter here.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about the McBee because it ended last week, but the saga continues online. And either these people are so savvy and they are just keeping us engaged in this particular storyline because every day something new comes out. So Jesse and Cole now are possibly indicted because of some shady shit their dad did. Okay, now Senior's about to get out of jail. Okay, Allie is saying that she loaned the farm those cows. Now they're saying that Allie McBee, Jesse is having an affair. It's every day is something coming out. So either these people are savvy and are keeping their thirst traps and their clickbait in the visible area, or they just have zero impulse control and zero self control, and they are just vomiting all over the internet. I can't tell which it is, but it is riveting. It's almost like an online soap opera. Somebody should do,
Yeah.
which I bet there is somebody there, like recapping all of the McBee stuff because it's wild. It's just so much to keep up with.
Well, if they're as far as their savviness goes, let's just go to the VPR of it all. Let's say there's a guy on there who doesn't like to work, right? but he keeps
Mhm.
going season after season. These boys here don't do a lot of actual work, right? Like you hadn't really seen them at the farm doing stuff. You hadn't
I mean,
really done all
they
this.
pantomime some things like, "Oh,
Right.
the wrench." Like, one day, Jesse couldn't get out of the combine. He got stuck in the combine because he didn't know which way to turn the handle. You ain't gonna convince me that this man is in that combine every year. Like, sorry.
So just saying, since you haven't seen them doing the work on the farm, their work is making this show. So they're going to try. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean they're good at keeping a lid on things whatsoever. They're just out here doing it, don't know what to do with their newfound money and
Yeah.
acting the fool, I'm guessing.
Part of their media blitz and their whole sort of brand is that we are not a reality show that happens to work on a farm. We're a farm that happens to have a reality show. But just the way that they are having tantrums in the public eye is just weird. I mean, it's just so strange. And I want to be like, hello, we can see you guys. Like
I know.
we can see.
Or
This is not a private text. This is the internet.
this is where I don't fault those people that are doing it, especially folks that are new to it. Like I fault Bravo. Like you can't get them, a guy, a coach,
I mean,
somebody to stick
and
with
that's what
them. Uh,
maybe the coach is coaching them. I don't know, Jeff. I'm having a really hard time figuring out if they are super smart or just real dumb. And I'm leaning towards real dumb. But speaking of real dumb, our Housewives gaggle is landing in Atlanta this week. So Emily and I will be
oh, that's a
talking
big
about
one for you.
the Atlanta leg. So they were in OC for an episode or so, then they were in Beverly Hills for an episode or so. And like every time they land in a city, they kind of recreate some of the most iconic moments from over the years. And because Atlanta is my favorite, I'm really excited to see what they do to recapture the liveliness of the seasons. Because I mean, when I tell you that my vocal stem is "Who gonna check me, boo?" I mean, I'm just telling you, bye wig. It is close your legs to married men. Like it's just I can't. I've had
That's
like
going to be the
housewives
rest of the
Tourette's.
show. Hold on. If I
Yeah,
don't stop this right now, this is going to be the next 35 minutes. And that's it.
I have housewives Tourette's, right? Like,
Dude.
but I am very interested to see how these OC women go to Atlanta because most of the OC women, especially Vicky Gunvalson, is in her 60s.
Yeah.
White women. I don't want to guess who they voted for, but y'all can probably guess. And so they are landing in the heart of Atlanta with all of these women who are very young, obviously Black women. And I just am very interested to see how they're going to kind of like cram the culture into this little snow globe. I'm hyped to death about it.
Hey, well, keep me posted on where they are. If they're going out, let me know where they are because I want to
Yeah,
be hitting those
for
places up.
sure. For sure. That's
Yeah.
so fun, though. It's so fun. What else? Oh, remind people to listen to my vanity project, Housewives Corner. Although what we
You
just did
did.
right here is mostly what I do on the Housewives
You
Corner. So
reminded them and then did a Housewives corner. And then we're
yeah,
telling them about the Housewives
yeah.
corner.
And so if you like what you just heard, head over to the Housewives Corner, people.
Without me
Plenty of
asking
that.
questions, too. It's even better. Yeah.
I know. I'm the worst at a party.
Where'd
I'm
they
like,
get
what?
wings at? What neighborhood are they in? Where are they doing this?
I'm the worst at a party. I'm like, do you watch Housewives? What franchise? And I'm always real leery of the people who say OC's their favorite, the OC and the Beverly Hills is their favorite, because I know who them. I see those women. So
I
that's
got
it.
you.
That's the last of it.
I got you.
That's the end.
Well, you want to get into you want to go from there? I know those ladies like to stir it up. You want to get into a controversial topic
Oh man,
first?
yeah. Okay, let's talk about it. What do you got? What do you got in mind? I have some notes about a myriad of topics, so lay it on me.
Well, I didn't know a thing about this good commercial until you threw it my way, and that landed in my lap this morning.
Oh my goodness. So tell me what your initial reaction was to it, watching it fresh.
I don't know how there's a multitude of reactions. I mean, it was just, what the fuck? How'd this happen? How did this get through so many people? Why did somebody think this was a good idea to begin with? Once I finally saw the full commercial, it was just not a good commercial,
No.
period on that. I mean, I'm not a golf fan, but I can appreciate a good ad. Like it was very odd. Just
Yes.
very, very weird. Yeah. I mean, not to mention the horrible, domestic abuse going on at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And
For a golf club. We're just gonna have
Yes,
fun with that.
which
Yeah.
statistically speaking, I'm about to bum you out, but statistically speaking, the weapon of choice when men beat their wives to death is usually a golf club.
You'd bum me out if I was shocked by that, then I
Yeah.
would be.
So, I
Uh,
mean, like in the last year and a half, there's been, a handful of instances. Like it's a real problem. But I was listening to some of the creators. Well, this was the Giggly Squad, which I was listening to, and they were talking about the hoops they have to go through for any kind of content. And so it's strange that this brand perceives, no, this is good. This is good content. So either they wanted it to get through,
right.
or they have, I don't know, a terrible marketing team, which I just don't believe so. Callaway is a billion-dollar business.
Yeah, it's hard not to think there's something they did wanna get out there, like the lawyer throwing out evidence that he know they're gonna get knocked down, but he wants the jury to see it kinda thing,
Yeah.
like, "No, no, no, put it out
Oh,
there, normalize it real quick, and then if it pulls back, doesn't matter, everybody's gonna see it anyway." And,
well, I
I know
mean,
there's some they want it to be like, you'd understand if you because 'cause they're all golfers and people that run the company who are in the ad, and like, "Well, if you knew this person, you'd know they didn't mind," and da da da, like, because the woman falls down and they say, well, she smiles when she's on the ground. But then they go to when the guy is hitting the ball, I noticed, and the women are sitting there with their arms behind their back, very orderly, like very much, there for the guy to watch and see what he does next, even though they got knocked to the ground. So it's very hard to not see that also. And I'm not talking about I saw somebody commenting on that. That was just me
yeah.
watching it this morning.
Well,
Um,
it's just a very slippery slope as because you made a very, very interesting and astute comment about the generation behind us, actually, the generation 2 generations behind us about Gen Z, and I don't know if you said it on air or if you didn't, but it was really interesting. Do you remember what you said about how this particular generation is the absolute most conservative, the most
oh, yeah.
traditionally
Yeah.
bound, but they are also the most apt to capitalize on a sexual income or an income based on sexual acts, all that. So
Mhm.
say it better than I am. I'm kind of like
No,
stumbling
that
over it.
is it. I mean, that's the general sense of it, and it's weird because those things come in and out of each other. Like, I'll be on this show declaring how conservative and religious I am, even though other things that deal with the show are the exact opposite of that, and I'm gonna act in ways that don't really portray a Christian lifestyle, and then I'll have a prayer at the end, and it's just it's just a very conflicting message. Yeah, and I know that's probably somebody my age talking about somebody 25 years younger than yeah, it might be conflicting, but we didn't have that. A generation above us didn't have that near as much,
No.
and it's
And
confusing.
and it's really starting to manifest because we've watched quite a few dating shows, right? And so the dating
Yeah.
shows are populated with people who are under 30. It's very rare. Love is Blind, maybe a few crept up over 30, but most likely the cast is made up of 25-year-olds.
Yeah, I see
And
a 32 and I'm like, "Yeah, all right.
yeah,
That's
well,
that's my
wow, okay,
guy.
grandpa. Yeah.
36, he's
And
out of here."
it is really upsetting to see these are the values that are kind of like that are seeping out of them. That they thought this was funny. Like this idea about I'm in my feminine energy or I'm in my masculine energy. It's it's a scary, scary time because
Yeah,
those ideas are being so contorted and so perverted. That is not what those ideas mean. And so to equate like my feminine energy with a traditional trad wife situation is really a contortion.
that's what it is constantly, yeah, and not the only big corporation that had to apologize this week in a major way, speaking of
Who else?
disgusting and naughty and how to get through. You don't know?
Uh-uh.
Stay with us, everybody. I'm gonna have Sunday Google something. We're gonna cut this off and come right back.
Okay.
This is
All
real.
right. All right. Jeff, Target continues to lose.
I shouldn't have laughed that hard. I mean, this is horrible. They're
What?
horrible. They were just getting people back in,
Oh
and then
my
this.
God. So, do you wanna know what my first thought was? Well, first off, it was like, "No, no, for real, this is a joke." My second is, did they not have any person of color in any of the steps moving through concept to market? Is there not one person who was like, "Hey, man, this has some Al Jolson shit right here. Like, this is some minstrel show. Like, is anybody else seeing this?" Like, are y'all sure? Like, there's no person of color in any of these meetings, right? It has
It's
to be.
real bad. And I mean, even if you're not a person of color, shouldn't you be like, hey, 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 hey? I mean, I'm talking when
Yeah.
the kid is posing at the photo shoot. That's when it
Yes.
stops right there. Like, I mean, I don't even know if you get to the photo shoot. Like, you put them, that you finish putting that outfit on somebody and you're like, no, this turned out real bad. I mean, this is the stuff that like skits are made of, because nobody would do this, right? This is ludicrous
And
behavior.
it is not a white kid. We're talking about that
Nope.
costume
Yeah.
that Target put out briefly, and people got mad about it. But it wasn't even a white kid. It was a young black boy who
Yep.
is wearing this costume that's got this big wide mouth. It's got this dumb little hat, and a lot of people are saying that it is recalling or even blatantly alluding to the minstrel shows of the early 20th century, in which black characters were depicted as really, really like dumb and shiftless and
In
just
a
kind
way
of like,
we don't like to see. Yeah.
yeah. And
I
like,
am talking over you, sorry,
um,
but I meant to.
that's okay. But there's a very specific archetype that's attached to this time period, right? And I taught a class on Southern settings, and we spent a whole unit on like the minstrel show, and for nobody to have the connection to that moment in time, it's just blows my mind. And so again, I'm asking, is this on purpose?
This
Is
one,
this on purpose?
even more than the other one, this seems like, hey, let's at least get it out there. It seems like a few people just having fun to get it out there to me. I hate to say that only because I hate the idea of that being fun to someone, but there's no way this can be an accident. There's
So is it
just,
boundary
I mean,
pushing
not
then?
no
It's
way,
just like,
but
how much
it
racism
seems,
can we exhibit
yeah.
before somebody calls on us? Like, I don't know, man. This is wildly, wildly unbelievable. And coming from Target now, Target has taken an entire 180 from the progressive company they were 10 years ago. And
Not even, yeah.
I get, yeah, and like this culture shift that's happening like against wokeness. I can understand an aversion to this extreme wokeness, right? All this virtue signaling. Like, I get that, right? I can understand it. But for it to swing so far in the other direction, I can't, that's what I can't get on board with. Like, it's just, it's tough.
Also, if you do want a little comic relief from it, comedian Ron Funches did a skit where he's the Target CEO with kind of his apology and his take on things. Please do yourself a favor and go check that out
Really
if
like
you
him.
haven't.
I really like him.
Yes, he's
Um,
awesome. I would think I was wearing his shirt in here
so
yesterday.
listen, I'm torn a little bit because I don't want us to go on for too long and bore people with our shenanigans. But I want to talk about some of the reality shows we've been watching. But also, we got to get to this Jax and Brittany Take Kentucky. So where do you want to go right now?
Let's do it. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Mama's not horny for Jax. You threw that
Yes,
out in
she
an
is.
email to me, and I'm not going to take that. She is not.
Sh
She's not. She is not.
Yes, she is.
That's not.
She quite literally says, "Come over here, like you're young, strong man." Brittany's like, "Don't take my man." But yeah, and then she compliments his boots. I mean, like she is horny for him.
America.
This woman lost her beloved Clarence. She wants a little bit of rub up against Mr. Jax Taylor.
No, 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 no. She wants everything to be good for her little Brittany. She sees this guy as a potential for some reason and is just
Jeff,
gonna give
do
him some good
you
ribbon.
you have not met this very specific Southern grandmother, I don't think. Okay.
I think I do
Ne-
know what you're talking about, and I
yeah.
don't think it's Mama. No.
Neither one of my grandmothers were this way. My mom was just so mad and tired of children and people by the time I came along. She was just like, whatever. But there is it's a flirtiness about him. And you know what? Tell you the
Yeah,
truth, this might be the kind of old lady I am.
you
Because
will be
there's
this.
like a
Yeah.
flirtiness. Bama is totally doing it. She is. She's putting it on. And then whether it's sincere or not, she's putting it on. But this whole like Farmer Jack's bit is so repugnant. Like, you're disgusting. Like, what do you think you're doing? I
You
don't
do
know.
know that when he's doing that, there's no one else around doing that because that's not the time they do that. So there's just doing this for the show, right?
I
I mean, that's
know,
all
but
this
that's what I'm
is.
saying. It's
But
belittling this, like, an entire sect of people and, like, just, like, minimizing it to, like a silliness, and I am a very, very tender, like, trigger for people who mock the South. It is
yeah,
I even I'm wearing my South shirt today. Like, I
me and
despise
three, baby.
Tex.
I mean, I
That's right.
essentially am also. There you go. You asked
Yeah.
me if they're making, if this was like an intention
Yes.
of this was to make fun of Jax, to make fun of the people there. What was it? And I think the answer is yes in this scenario. I think
Well,
these producers saw a fucking gold mine. They were like, this degenerate asshole is married to this, girl from Kentucky. What if we put him there? Can you imagine like all the gold that'll come from that? And then it just ended up sad.
so I see that, and I even raise you a theory that maybe it's like a double negative in which they sent him there for them to make fun of him, right? And for us to put this, but also because they knew what a dunce he was going to come off as, but really it's
Hmm.
just going to even double down, make him look worse. So I can get on board with that. But the way that this man is talking about these people, the unwed mother stuff is really strange. Like, what kind of language are you? And this is 2016, 17?
17, yeah. And especially since he has impregnated an unwed lady. He's done
Yes.
the thing that he's making fun of them for, he has done at least once that we know of.
Jax, his storyline coming up is that he had unprotected sex with Faith and she's missed her period.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope you
what are
didn't
you
just call
doing?
me Jax, by the way.
Did I? I did. I think I did. Sorry. I was in there. I was in the moment. But there is another shade to this too, because these women are 27 years old and one of the women has a 3, 4, and 5-year-old.
Hmm.
That's a lot of babies in not a lot of time. And
Yeah, but that's
that
not,
makes for a very hard life. Well, she's a single mother, right, too.
yeah.
So I'm not judging, but all I'm saying is it does make for a very hard life, a harder life than Brittany just out here, take a shot, take a right, whatever.
Yeah, and
Um,
then I was trying to wonder, like, all right, they're unwed now. Maybe they were married and they're just divorced. That's, they don't really get
yeah,
into who is single now and who has been single. And I'm really starting to get like you, getting my back up about it if they're talking shit about these ladies. And then they refer to condoms being similar to snakes and that they want to stay away from both of those things. And I was like,
things
well,
they don't fuck
now I
with.
don't know where to stand at all. That's right. Things they
Okay,
don't fuck with.
so
Condoms and snakes.
let's just can we
Nope.
just pause on this for a second?
No.
I got to get to the bottom of this. What is
Mm.
the origin of this weirdness? Because why? So, are you trying to trap a man? Are you trying to get pregnant? Or are you saying what are you? Are you trying to be like a pick me? And because that's what guys want you to do? Like what?
Well, who
What?
knows? Because
I mean, at least a snake will
Winchester
bite you.
is small. I mean, there's not like it's not LA where there's just a new group of guys coming here on the constant looking to make something of their life. Like you're not even seeing that many people on the reg. So I cannot imagine what this
I
aversion
Googled
is.
it. Winchester is 34 minutes from Lexington. It's not like they're in the Antarctic, okay?
No, I just mean
A
like
30-minute ride
that's
and they
that
can
though.
be in the
Yeah.
big city. Like, this idea that condoms and snakes, sir, that is wild.
I'm not responsible for this. Please don't lump me in here.
No, you are right, but I'm just saying it's a tough sell. And then him coming in there thinking he calls himself a city slicker, which gross, but thinking that he is going to be so above these people, he's going to match this donation for their IVF. He's
Yeah.
going to impress all these people. And him walking around talking to everybody about Brittany's depression, her dad clocked him immediately. That's exactly what that man was doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we just met the family because now only 2 episodes into the very next season, like just as few months later as this is I'm wanting old Don need to come trucking right across the country. Like when she calls
Yeah.
Sherry and says he definitely cheated on me, I'm like, okay, Don will be there in about 30 hours, I'm guessing. Like, put that on the clock. He's going to be there because that dude saw him coming 10 miles away.
Yeah. I mean, and even down to the nuance of the kinds of language that Jax was using and the motivation,
Smart.
which is like he saw him a mile away. Sherry trying to take up for him, and Cherry and Mamaw trying to take up for him, that these are not the kind of women who are going to, like, quote, believe women. They don't think hashtag me too is a thing. Like, these women are just attention seeking. What was she wearing? Like, those are those kind of women. And
Yeah.
the fact that they could not smell Jax's stench from 100 feet away is wild to me. Even after he is telling Mamaw that she put on weight.
Yeah.
Sir.
Well, it's also weird coming from just Sherry because she's on husband number 4, right? Well,
Yes.
that means she has found out some dudes are wrong repeatedly. So at least 3 dudes have been very wrong.
Well,
So
it also points to her picker, and she has not had a pickerectomy. So she's
yeah.
continuing to pick these men, that somehow, some way let her down. But also, too, how many goddamn brothers does Brittany have? Every scene, another one comes out. It's like a clown car of brothers. They just
There's a
keep
lot of
on getting
cousins
out.
too. There's
Yes,
there's
but I
there's
wrote
plenty of
down
cousins.
there was at least 4 brothers, I think. There was the
Well, we've
one.
got 2, you got a mom and dad. They have a certain amount of kids. Dad goes over here in another marriage. Mom goes over here in another marriage, and they just, you get a lot
Well,
real quick that
you're
way, I guess.
speaking to someone. Remember, I have 4 older brothers and 2 older sisters, and I'm the
Yes.
only child with my parents. So I'm like the youngest and the only child all wrapped into one. Delightful. But they're kind of close in age too. My siblings and I are kind of far apart because, my dad was starting over, whatever. But these folks are kind of close in age. So you
But
just
that's
Winchester County impregnating everybody you can? Like, keep it in your pants, Don. I guess Don don't fuck with condoms either.
no, no, not at all. But that's a blended family thing, right? Like if you've got 2 or 3 kids, they've got 2 or 3 kids, y'all get together, some of them might be the exact same age. So like
Yeah.
they ain't got to be a year apart or anything.
But I so and what is also really, really strange to contextualize is that this happened. They aired this. They shot and aired it in between season 5 and season 6. We have seen 3 episodes so far, which maybe they didn't have the foresight to understand that Jax would do it so soon. But what's the play here, Bravo? Are they playing up this cool couple and like, oh, their love story and we can end on it, we can capitalize on it? Or, oh, hey, it's about to fall apart. Let's get in on that. Like, what were they doing about like platforming these folks?
Oh,
Why didn't they send Katie and Schwartz somewhere?
well,
Why didn't they send, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are they picking them to be Mr. and Mrs. Vanderpump Rules?
they know they're getting something, and they did. I mean,
I don't
I
know
don't
what we
like watch.
got.
He could go away 3 years ago, but there's lots of eyes like to be on Jax Taylor, so they're just milking that for all they can.
And there's a lot of talk about him respecting her. If
He
a
don't.
man is going to talk, no, of course not. But if a man is going to talk to you this way in front of your family on
Yeah,
camera, I can't even begin to think about what this man is talking to you like when there's nobody around.
yeah, we've
I
said that
mean,
repeatedly.
but
Yeah,
but I mean, I just maybe like the veil has been rent from my eyes in some way, but this just seems so much worse than I ever. And maybe because I had a different life the first time around when I watched it, or maybe I had not seen the valley or whatever, right? But this just feels so dangerous and so upsetting. Talking like this to his girl in front of her mother, I would
yeah.
have fist fought him. That would have been it. Me and Jax would have tied up in the yard in front of Clarence's gazebo. And Sherry didn't say a damn word. She's like, "This is not how I wanted y'all's last day to go. I don't want y'all to fight." What?
Well, we didn't
Wait.
just fight. He was missing. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There are events being missed. He is also yelling at her in front of everybody. He's been talking shit behind her back. He's mean to all her friends. We can go on, but we're good. Broke Mama's one rule like 2 hours in.
Yes, I think that was probably more Brittany than him because Brittany be liking to drink. But we do get, like, little
Can't
flashes
blame
of
Jax
Brittany.
all the way, I guess, Sunday. Gotta stick up for him just a
I know,
little bit.
but I'm turned on Brittany too, so I gotta come for her a little bit too, but Brittany shows flashes of maybe having a backbone, we're, like, leaving him in town, which was a baller move, but then calling him every 3 minutes the whole time kind of undermines that. And, like, we're seeing too in these early season 6 episodes with the, "Imma cut his dick off. Imma take the dogs, and Imma go home. I'm going to Vegas. I'm gonna be single." We see these flashes of it, but
But that's
there's
all
no
they are. I
follow-up.
mean,
And
they're they're not even flat. I mean, that's all they are, right? It's just like, I'm gonna, and then he's back. Don't worry about it. He's coming right back. You're going right back. You already slept with him again. Blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
And so we get a little bit of insight though into why Brittany is kind of glommed onto him because she wanted out of Winchester, Kentucky. And she perceived, this is my theory. She perceived that Jax on
We
this
is Sunday,
show,
by the way.
yeah, me. But I don't believe that she didn't see this man on this show before this one. I don't believe that for an instance. If I had to guess, and this is conjecture all the way, but Kara lives in Vegas, okay?
Yeah.
So Brittany went to visit Kara. She heard that the Vanderpump Rules cast was going to be somewhere. They were hosting a party. They were promoting this, or whatever. And she made a point to go in there, honed in on her who's the weakest link radar, set her sights on Jax. This is the one that's going to get me out of Winchester, Kentucky. And now she's done opened that can of worms, and now she's got to eat the whole thing because otherwise she's going to have to go back home.
Yeah. But now she's out there. She's met other people. You don't have to stay with them. I mean, so what
Well,
is staying on there unless you
so
just want to stay on the TV show? And in that
I
case, just
mean,
say that.
well, I think that's what she wants, right? I think it's what she wants. And at this point, I don't know if she is confident enough to think that she'll still be part of Vanderpump Rules without Jax. I mean, I don't know. This show, Lisa Vanderpump, Bravo, has made a lot of allowances for Jax over the years. So Brittany may be right. She may be like, if I leave him, I'm out.
Yeah. No, she really may be. But also, I'm still like, just that's fine. You'll find something else. You'll find something else.
Well, not what she wants.
Well,
Um, what else? Was that it
you
for
wanna do you
the
wanna change gears in a giant way?
yeah. Yeah, we can, definitely. We wanna talk about the sad, sad news. We had 3 major losses in the last week, 1 especially acute to me. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, one way bigger to me. I mean, nothing against anybody else, not taking less of anyone else, but Dolly, for sure. Dolly
Yeah,
Parton passing away at 80. I mean, not just here in the South, but everywhere. Beloved, big time, my entire
yeah,
life. I mean, my
yeah,
entire life. I've never not known
same.
who she is. That's more than half her life. I've known who she is on my TV constantly in the 80s. I lived at a place not real far from her back when this is when Nashville's like, 300,000 people when I was
Mhm.
little. And so she was a giant, giant star then, and she never stopped.
Yeah,
Pretty
there
amazing.
and there was always something about her that I mean, this is a common experience too, but that just said like, "Hey, man, I'm safe loving this woman. I'm safe here." Like
Absolutely.
anything that I felt about myself, anything that felt weird or, unusual, it was safe because Dolly could do this. And, I've heard every story I can imagine about it. And when I was 8 years old, my dad asked me where I wanted to go on vacation, and I said Dollywood. And I gutted. Went down I didn't sleep really well last night, but I went down like a rabbit hole of people doing like tributes to Dolly,
Yeah,
and it really got me because she's so loved. I mean, it doesn't matter age, it doesn't matter sexual identity, race, gender. Like Dolly was absolutely adored by everybody. And I don't know, man. It's a real gut punch. I'm
Yeah.
part of my personality is liking Dolly Parton, and
I mean, my
so
whole family just
mhm.
loved her back then. Like she'd show up on the Opry and was so every single person loved watching her. Then I'd go watch my kids show. She's on there with the Muppets. I start watching SNL real young. She's on there and does an amazing job when I'm like 9 and there's a Southern person on Saturday Night Live. I mean, that was amazing to me.
Yeah.
She just did it all.
And there are a few things that Dolly has said over the years that are kind of like tent poles to my personal philosophy. Number one is it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. Say that all the
Yeah.
time. That gives me license to look like a drag queen walking around. Two, I'm always going to be in on the joke. Like, you're never going to make a joke about me that I'm not in on. And Dolly was very, very specific about that. Like, because she liked folks to underestimate her. She liked folks to call her a dumb blonde because she was neither dumb nor blonde. It's another Dolly saying there.
Hmm.
And also that, I don't get mad real often, but when I do, I'm real good at it. And so those three things just sort of like sum up the way and the amount of charity. She saved us from COVID. Okay. She saved us
Yeah.
from illiteracy. She saved us from a hurricane. She saved us from forest fires. I mean, what else can you ask for from one person? And it's good. I mean, Shep gets an imagination library book every month. He gets one every month.
Yeah. I mean, I know countless people who do. Speaking of summing it up, just this summer, if we were going to do a summer thing earlier, I had this lined up earlier this year, but Radio Lab had a great podcast this summer, Dolly Parton's America.
America,
It's 8 or
yes.
10 parts, and it is
But it's a couple
so.
years old too. I think they reran it because I listened to it a couple years
They
ago,
did.
and it is
Yeah.
riveting.
It's
Mhm.
so good. I mean, speaking of the rabbit, because she plays like 32 instruments or something. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just wild. But if my rabbit hole, like, because I like seeing her do different instruments, because I mean, her love of just the music is wild. Putting out albums, this regular at that age is big. But if you look up even like just Dolly's bluegrass stuff, you'll see her play so many different instruments, and just she looks like she's having the best time. Gives me chills all the time, before and now especially. So,
She was also a silent producer on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show.
oh,
And
amazing.
yes, I think more she was more like of an investor, but Sarah Michelle Gellar tells a story about how they would get Christmas presents from Dolly in those early years, but like, they never met her. She was never on set. It was not a thing. It was just like this. And so one time, I think somebody asked Dolly about the show or about whatever, and she mentioned Sarah Michelle Gellar by name, and like that was, one of the best things that ever happened to her. So, yes, we have Dolly to
Absolutely.
thank for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, hello, thank you very much. Another part of my personality is my sexual awakening was Faith, the
We're
anti.
learning a lot about Sunday today,
Yes, today you
everybody.
are. I don't know, just like the whole Dolly thing. And I know it's a very parasocial situation, but this one got me. This one really got me.
Oh,
I was really sad about it.
she's entertained us our whole lives way before any kind of, social media thing came up. So she's in with us. It's a big loss in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And you mentioned we had some mothers. Tim Curry, also 80,
Yeah. And
passed.
Hayden Panettiere under like a little more mysterious circumstances.
Yes,
But
sounds pretty dark.
the upside, there's never an upside for someone dying, I guess. But in terms of like threes, that was the set of three. Hopefully we can go a little while. I think it's the eclipse that's having some, wonky effects, but hopefully we'll be all set on celebrity deaths for a while now that we've hit the 3 mark.
Stay strong, Willie. Stay strong there.
Then Julie Andrews,
It's,
too, was another one that we need to really like unshare. Oh God, share. So anyway.
don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Shep wore a Ricky Bobby shirt to school today. So funny. Yeah, so we'll wrap this. There are some reality shows I want to talk about. Let's do that next week because we talked longer than I think our MegaMini crossover usually is. So, have you watched the Love Is Blind wedding episode yet?
I can't believe we haven't even touched on Love Is Blind. This
I know
was
we're
my
gonna have to do it
first
next week.
LIB. It's my first
Okay,
LIB.
that's
I
why we
loved
needed
it.
some space. Have you watched all of them? Have you watched the weddings?
Absolutely. I would watch
Okay.
10 more tonight. And
What about
yeah.
Married at First Sight? Have you watched any of those?
No, I'm probably going to go on to a different country's Love is Blind if I can next.
Oh my God. It better be Australia, because if not, get out. They are so good.
I just
And
got
then,
here.
so you finish watching Married at First Sight if you haven't, and I'll finish watching Pastor's Wife. And then that's what we'll do
Yes.
next week. That'll be our next week's show, because the reunion of Married at First Sight is something. Okay?
Oh,
It's something.
yeah. I'm just going to a different country of Love is Blind. I'm just getting here. I'm gonna keep very easily
Oh
sliding
my
into
God, it's
this
so
pool.
juicy. I wish I
But
could go back and watch Married at First Sight for Australia for the first time. Wish. But okay. So find us at the socials at Take a Pinot Pod, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Jeez, I forgot it for a second. And I'm gonna do my
and
best to get to. And what else? What other social did I miss? And
nothing for anything at all. You can be social with me at
oh,
jeff@pinotpod.com.